Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and Alexander Isak has dropped a bombshell. He has informed Newcastle United that he wants to move away from the club this summer and is looking for a move. And Newcastle seems that they knew about it and they are preparing for Isak's departure, and they are already looking at ways how to replace him. It is a big news. It's a breaking news. Everybody thought that he was going to move this summer. But the one thing that is surprising to me is the timing of this announcement, the timing of request from Newcastle. If he does this, makes this request from Newcastle, he informs Newcastle about this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, then you're thinking, okay, Liverpool are in it, Liverpool are going to sign it, or Arsenal are going to make a clear, a try for it for Alexander Isak. Because both of these clubs really needed a striker, and both of them were looking at Isak. He was one of their main options, but Newcastle kept on saying that we are not going to accept less than 120 million, and there was nothing from Isak. There was nothing from Isak's a camp as well. It was just mum there. It was just silence from them. So Arsenal go ahead and they get Gurklish. Liverpool go ahead and they sign Ekitike. There was even a situation with Liverpool, especially that they sent their bid to Newcastle, and they informed that if you want to sell Newcastle Isak to us, tell us, and we are going to sign him, and you can go ahead and get Ekitike. Newcastle did not reply, did not respond. So Liverpool go ahead and Liverpool buy Ekitike, and now suddenly this news comes out. It feels as sort of a suspicious thing. It's also it feels sort of like there's something bad, not bad. There's something happening behind the doors that unfortunately Liverpool did not know about, and it feels like Newcastle and Isak already had an agreement that he was going to leave, but Newcastle did not want to sell him to Liverpool. In a way, I don't know, there is something. I personally think he has agreed terms with another club where the price has been agreed between them and Newcastle as well. And in a way, I think Newcastle have sort of agreed with him, a sort of a gentleman's agreement that we will let you go to that club, and that club has already agreed the deal in principle with Newcastle regarding the fees and amount, and that's why they did not want to sell Euro, because it feels quite weird, to be very honest. That for about a month now, everybody's talking about this Isak to Liverpool. Isak is going to leave Newcastle, and Newcastle have been adamant that they are not going to sell. And then just suddenly, Isak comes out and says he wants to go out, and Newcastle start, looking for replacements and whatnot. Yeah, it is quite interesting, if I'm being very honest with you. And if I am looking at the clubs, there are not that many clubs as well that can really go ahead and pay that much money. Who need a striker? I mean, even if you look in the Premier League, Chelsea have already bought two good players. Arsenal bought their striker. Liverpool bought the striker. Manchester City don't need a striker. He's never going to join Spurs, let's be very honest, and Spurs are not going to give that money. The only club that comes into mind is Manchester United. But is Isak going to leave Newcastle United and go to Manchester United? I don't think that is going to happen. You go to Europe and you have Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are not going to pay that much money for Isak. Anyway, they are more interested in getting Luis Diaz from Liverpool. You go to Spain, you don't have Barcelona cannot spend, Real Madrid don't need to spend, PSG they don't really need Isak. But the only club I can think of that could pay that big bucks in the entirety of Europe at the moment, and who really need, in a way, they need a focal point, I would say, that is PSG. They are not even that sure. Ousmane Dembele is having a world-class season. So, but the only possible club I would say is maybe a new PSG. Apart from that, I just don't see any club now who would pay that big bucks to bring him in. Fabrizio Romano has said that Liverpool are still interested in bringing Isak to Liverpool, which I'm quite surprised, to be very honest with you, because they have already spent about 90 million euros, over 90 million pounds for Ekitike. And then even if they end up selling Luis Diaz, they want to bring they can how is that going to fit in? I mean, I sort of understand what they're trying to do, but it will be a hard day. And again, it's the timing of it. It could only also sort of be a PR move from Isak's agent, maybe to get a better contract, maybe to get a salary increase for Isak, because he knows how important he is for Newcastle and how important he can be for Newcastle as well. So maybe they are trying to play this card. But again, if they are trying to play this card where he wants to stay at Newcastle and he wants a salary increase, again, this is the wrong time. As I said, Liverpool have already signed, they were like the front runners. Arsenal have already signed a big striker. So it is the timing of this statement that is like a weird one, if I'm being very honest with you, because it doesn't really make a sense to do it. If you do it a week ago, then you have a big chance. If you actually want to go, right? If you actually want to move, you make this statement, you tell Newcastle I want to go a week ago, then Liverpool are on the case. Liverpool and Newcastle might discuss the terms and you might get the move. And even if you are looking for a salary increase or whatnot, and you do it a week ago, then Newcastle are under pressure. They know Liverpool are bidding. Liverpool would talk to you as well. So then Newcastle can give you a better contract. They can give you a salary increase, and you get what you want as well in that regard as well. But it feels like the ship has sailed for Isak, and now he's just being reactive instead of being proactive to sort of get the move if he wanted. Now he's reacting to it. Maybe I think maybe he did not believe that Liverpool were going to go ahead and get the Ekitike deal done. Maybe he thought Liverpool were going to wait for him, but Liverpool did not. It could happen that Liverpool sent Luis Diaz and then go for Alexander Isak, but that's a tough move. I'll be very honest with you, and that is going to take a big amount of money again, and overspending, as I said before, already spending 90 million plus on Ekitike. They've spent almost 100 plus on Wirtz as well. Again, going to spend 100 million plus on Isak. I don't think it is going to happen. I could be wrong, and Liverpool might go ahead and do the madness, but I would be very surprised if Liverpool go ahead and make that move. They try to assign him. So I feel like it is useless at this point, if I'm being very honest with you, going to Newcastle, unless until there are Saudi clubs. Maybe there are a couple of Saudi clubs interested in him, and maybe that is, and let's be very honest, Newcastle are owned by Saudis, so maybe there's this chance that he has already agreed terms with a Saudi club, and that is why Newcastle had this 120 million pound price tag for Liverpool, which they were not willing to come down from. And maybe the Saudis have given Isak a big contract. They would have given him so much money. And Newcastle, or also, as I said, backed by the Saudis. So maybe there's an agreement between them and already a Saudi club that they are going to sell him there, and they're going to get a huge amount. As I said, Isak, it is the timing. I keep on saying that the way that he has made that timing makes me think maybe Isak is off to Saudi Arabia, and Newcastle are going to get a big amount of money from the Saudis, because let's be very honest, they are not really, they have all this money from Saudi Arabia, but they are not really able to spend it. So they are trying to find a way out where they can justify spending their money. So if you sell Isak, for example, 150 million pounds, you can go ahead and buy 2 or 3 good players for a good amount of money, and nobody can really question you in that regards from that way you got the money, and they are going to be well within their financial fair play restrictions as well. So I feel this indicates that Isak's destination could end up being Saudi Arabia, because I just don't think there is any club in Europe at the moment who's gonna pay the big bucks, who really needs a striker. The 2 clubs that really needed it, they have both gone, and they have spent big amount of money to get both of them. And I personally think, if I'm being very honest, that Isak is on way to Saudi Arabia, and I think this deal has already been in the making for weeks now, but it has been kept silent. They were just waiting for Liverpool, for Liverpool to finish their deal and get Ekitike. Liverpool might try again, but I would be very surprised if they go ahead and get him. So yeah, that's it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys think of the entire situation and the timing of this request from Isak. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification button, and of course subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.